What's going on, Pokemon Go trainers? Welcome to episode 67 of Lured Up, the podcast where we take Pokemon Go way more seriously than we do ourselves. Today is Sunday, February 24th, 2019. I'm your host, Ken Pescator, joined by my co-hosts Adam Tuttle and Melissa Pescator.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, that's
and
us.
a very special guest today.
Who is it?
Pokemon Master Holly's in the house. What's up, Holly?
What's up? Thank you guys so much for having me on the show.
Thanks for coming.
Dude, we're so psyched. We're so psyched to have you on. You're an East Coaster at heart, so coming from Jersey, that holds a lot of weight. And
we just love you.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
We just love you. We're like super fans.
we're big fans, big fans. So we're super psyched that you came on the show, and we'll get to know you in a minute. I got to do my housekeeping.
Come on, Ken.
I got to clean the house.
Clean it up. Clean it up.
Clean the house.
Hold that laundry.
This podcast is powered by Patreon. Please check ours out over at patreon.com/GottaWatchEmAll, where you can support this show for as little as $1 a month. And that $1 will get you access to our patron-exclusive Discord, which is a fantastic place filled with fantastic people.
It sure is.
And I want to give a huge shout out to our show supporter tier patrons, Brittany J, Jessica Keith, Matt, M. Pitts, Terry, David, Chris, Sydney, and Bacon L. Thank you guys so incredibly much. Oh, and we have 2 new patrons at the Discord level this
saw
week.
You got to tell me who they are.
Illustrious Overseer
Yes.
and Hero Killer. Thank you guys so much for joining. Welcome to the fucking party.
Yes.
Let's get it on. It's
Hurrah.
awesome. All right, on today's show, we're going to get to know Pokemon Master Holly. We're going to talk about Clamperl Limited Research Day, which went over very, very well. Latias Special Raid Weekend is going on right now. A deep dive that I do want to get into is event fatigue. I want to talk about the fear of missing out. We've talked about it before, but I think now more than ever, the event fatigue is real. I've heard it more online in the past week or two than I have, probably in the last year.
Yeah, this is
so
true.
I want to talk about that. There was a great interview. Matt Slemon, who's the Niantic product manager, met with Polygon and just kind of had this great comprehensive interview talking about the past, present, and future of Niantic and their goals with Pokemon Go. So we'll dig into that a bit. I want to talk about the Trader Medal, the Team Change Medallion.
Oh, yeah. Everybody can
that is going to be coming out,
I don't.
which has been a topic of exceptionally heated contention online. And I think it's going to be fun to talk about because some people are all about it and some people are like, no way. So it's definitely cool. I think that in addition to like changing teams, just the fact of the dynamic and vibe that it creates is half the fun of what it, what's going to come of that when that comes out in a couple days. And then finally, we're going to get a Tempest Cup Battle Party together. This is going to be March themed cup for Silpharina. And I held a Twilight Cup today for one of the communities in my area, and people are starting to get freaking serious on PvP, so I'm very excited about that. But we'll build out a party for Tempest Cup, and we'll go from there. All right, Pokemon Master Holly, how the hell are you? Tell us about yourself.
Hey guys.
What do you do? Where are you from? Like what like just give us the quick, rundown on you, your channel, and we'll get the basics out of the way.
Sure. So first, I just have to say thank you again for having me on the show. This is awesome to be here. And yeah, my name is Pokemon Master Holly, and I've got a YouTube channel that's called Pokemon Master Holly. I do Pokemon Go videos and live streams, and I just try to travel around to meet trainers of different communities all over the world, and also do live streams where I play Pokemon Go and kind of show how I do my own grind and different videos of my adventures with Pokemon Go.
That's awesome. I've really been getting into the dynamic that you've had on your streams lately, to the point where I was like watching it the other day and I'm like fucking cheering and stuff. Like I'm like laughing. We were doing karaoke in the car.
Oh my God,
and
he's telling me about that.
I was rolling. I was laughing so hard. Like you had me going. I was like, this is such an amazing dynamic of like what this game can be and how it's so real. And there was so much personality in it. I was like, this is why she's fucking great.
I know, the Latias video, you're like, when you got the shinies back to back, I was just like, what? I'm like, I'm like
you guys
freaking
very
out, like
much.
yelling, like, yes!
No, it's super easy to get really excited about your, watching your videos, and that's one of the things that I like about them is the energy level is just, it seems super organic and super real, and that's, I'm pretty sure that your community and your fan base really appreciates that because you could tell when you watch your videos that you're really, having a good freaking time when you play, which is really cool.
I love Pokemon so much, so it's really easy for me to just get excited about getting a shiny or a Pokedex entry or just finding something really cool in the wild. I just love Pokemon and it makes me happy. So actually, even on a really bad day, like we did car karaoke on one of my live streams, and we were actually really sick. Me and somebody that was also in the car with us, we were both super sick, and we just decided, like, screw it, we're gonna go out, we're gonna do a live stream, and why not sing? So, and that's all thanks to Pokemon Go. Pokemon Go has brought so many people into my life. Like, I've got a completely new group of friends right now because of Pokemon Go. Like, I moved because of Pokemon Go. It's just a fantastic game, and it makes me really happy.
That's excellent.
That kind of plays into the next thing I wanted to ask you, your history with Pokemon outside of Go. So before July of 2016, where were you at with Pokemon? Were you a Pokemon fan? Did you play the games?
Absolutely. I'm a huge Pokemon nerd. I've been playing Pokemon ever since it came to the United States in like 1997, I believe. So I was born in 1990, so I was 7 when I first picked up Pokemon when it first came out. And I've been playing it ever since. I've played at least a little bit of all of the main series games, and I basically own all of them as well. I guess I'm the most hardcore with the Generation 1, 2, and 3, and then I guess the hype.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the most exciting with red, blue, and yellow version for sure.
Were you a red or blue?
I had both, and I even played yellow too. I play
see,
all of
that's
them.
just fucking hardcore. No, it's funny because Reversal was played blue. Pop Punk, who we had on last week, had played blue. Adam was blue. So whenever anyone says, "Oh, I bought blue," Adam's
Adam
like,
freaks
"Ooh,
out, yeah.
we're
But
best."
was blue first? Did you buy blue first? Because you can't play both at the same time.
Honestly, I
That's
think I
not
had
true.
red first because I remember I wanted
Oh,
Charizard
no.
really bad. So yeah.
Valor, son, Valor, get it.
Yeah, but that's why I'm
that-
Team
that's
Valor,
great.
I guess, too. I love everything that's red. And I picked Team Valor because of the original manga series with the Pokemon Adventures. I liked the character Red, and because, it was red versus blue. So I went with Valor because I liked red, and I like, Charizard and a lot of fire-type Pokemon. So that's why I went with Valor.
All right, and who's your favorite Pokemon?
My favorite Pokemon is Flareon, so yet again, another fire type that I love.
Hell
There you
yeah.
go.
Awesome. No, that's super cool. That's awesome. So what was it that really triggered the spark in your brain to say, hey, I want to actually start a YouTube channel and go for this? Like, what was really the motivation to get into the content creation universe to begin with?
So actually, I really wanted to start a YouTube channel ever since I was pretty young. When I first saw Jenna Marbles on YouTube, I thought she was hilarious, and I thought that was so cool. So ever since I started seeing Jenna Marbles, I think that was kind of like high school age. I was like, I kind of want to be a YouTuber too, but I didn't know how I could get an audience. I didn't know how to start gathering subscribers or anything like that until Pokemon Go came out. And it hit me. I was like, oh my God, these are all my favorite things. I love Pokemon. I love being outside. I love interacting with humans and other people, like other trainers. So I thought, why not just marry all these things together and finally start my YouTube channel? So I actually created my Pokemon Go account. My trainer name is Pokemon Master Holly because I thought maybe one day I would have a channel. Yeah, it wasn't until right before raids came out, about a year into Pokemon Go, that I decided to start my channel because I was getting ready to graduate college and I knew that I was going to have to move on to the next step of my life. So I thought, well, now's the time to start this YouTube channel. And that's actually what led me into meeting Reversal because I had been following them on YouTube. And then I thought, well, maybe they can help me out. And so Reversal agreed to have me in the Netherlands. So I went to go fly over and visit with him. And we played Pokemon nonstop for a week and met a bunch of other trainers that got Pokemon. It was just a good time. And he really helped set me up for success. And of course, Nick was there too. Nick was also there, trainer tips for the entire time that I was with Reversal. And they both were equally really amazing at teaching me the ins and outs of YouTube, kind of like how to do certain editing tricks with the footage and Adobe Premiere Pro. And they were just really nice people that got me into the community.
In Reversal's vlogs, that's really when I first saw you and started following your content, and that was definitely like a launch pad for you. Like I remember after that you were off to the races, and you're almost at like 100K now, right?
That's right. I'm so close to 100,000 subscribers.
Ah, that's so
and
awesome.
It's really
That's
crazy.
so awesome.
Yeah, congratulations.
So
Jeez.
Thank you guys.
That is so
yeah,
cool.
it's amazing. It's been a long road, but I think when I went to go visit Reversal, I had probably like not even 2,000 subscribers, maybe 4,000, somewhere between 2,000 and 4,000. So it's been a crazy amount of growth since then.
Yeah, I remember stumbling upon your page and watching your videos and like texting Ken and being like, hey, check her out. She's fun to watch, you know?
Like, look at her hair.
Yeah, exactly.
She's got Pikachu ears.
It's a trademark.
I love meeting other people in the community that have the Pikachu ears. It's such a bonding thing. Everybody loves Pikachu.
Here I am. I'm Eevee version. Ugh. No.
How amazing was it when you got the call from Niantic that they wanted to do work with you, like in the travel series and stuff? Like, what was that? Did that blow your freaking mind?
Absolutely. It blew my mind when I first heard from Niantic. They first contacted me for the Pokemon Go travel series back in November with the Thanksgiving tasks that they were doing, the Global Catch Challenge. And so that was where I didn't go anywhere yet, but I just stayed in Philadelphia and I made some videos for them, kind of talking about the Global Catch Challenge. And they sent me t-shirts and I got my first like Pokemon Go travel hat and all kinds of cool swag. They even gave me a water bottle and it was like, wow, like they really recognize that, you know, I have an impact on the community and they're rewarding me for this. And I just feel like really thankful. Yeah, thankful that Niantic even recognized me at all.
And I'm sure that hyped you up.
Super exciting and shocking. Yeah, it's hype, and you know, I kind of wear my hats now, the Pokemon Go travel hats, just like almost out of nostalgia, and I constantly wear the shirts. It's just like I want to represent this as best as I can.
No, that's really cool, and I know that from a credibility standpoint, and also from just an exposure standpoint, that was probably paramount to, you know, seeing this massive spike in your channel growth, because, you know, the amount of eyeballs you're going to be in front of, and not just that, the high level of production that surrounds it. Like when Reversal was on and he was telling us how, you know, it was so crazy and, you know, it felt so artificial for him, but he was like, fuck it, yeah, I'll take a water, you know what I mean? Like how, you know, it was just, it's so cool that this game has become so much more, that it's producing content like that. And I just love watching that type of produced content, not only because it's high production value, but because it's literally coming from the source. You know, this is coming from the developer's, you know, mindset. So just really freaking cool. And I can imagine like how awesome that would be, going from, you know, making videos on your own, traveling on your own, and then all of a sudden
having a crew.
Like, here's,
here's
awesome. The information, and then you give it to them through your perspective.
But like the narrative was awesome. Like how you guys were on like a freaking wild goose chase and everything. Like that was so exciting to watch.
Yeah, I mean, the production crew was absolutely fantastic for the Go Travel series over last summer. They had this whole storyline thought up, and, you know, it was so easy for us to just fall right into, because they wrote the story as exactly the way that we play it. I mean, you just walk around, you look for Pokemon, and you have fun with your friends. So it all just fell into place perfectly, and it was so exciting just to be part of that.
What are your goals as a tuber? Now, this is... Reversal was talking about, and this really resonated with me, because Pokemon Go is one game, you know, so he was talking about the diversification of his channel. Now, how do you handle that kind of thought process of the future of your channel, the life cycle of Pokemon Go? Like, do you feel that Pokemon is a platform for you to kind of run with this as far as it'll take it, or is Pokemon Go really the thing for you?
I think that's a tough question, but I feel like my YouTube channel is basically Pokemon centric. Like, it's Pokemon everything. I did do Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee when that came out, and I did Let's Go on like a live stream, and that was a lot of fun, and that was different for my channel. That was the first time I ever did something on my channel that wasn't Pokemon Go, and I think the response was very good. People liked it, so I think next time there's a new Pokemon game that comes out, hopefully whenever Gen 8 drops, I'm going to try to cover that as well. And of course, whenever Niantic decides to drop Harry Potter Wizards Unite, I kind of want to...
It's going to be so hard to play both games. Like, it's going to be so
I downloaded
hard.
Ingress, and I'm days that I just like forget. I'm like, oh shoot, I was at a quad stop and I could have just dropped a bunch of, I don't even know what they are, but it's like I could have played and I didn't.
It's tough, especially if you're on a single device. You know, it's hard to have both games running. But, you know, Wizards Unite, man, it could go either way. There could be, you know, where new people come out to play that game, but there might be a segment of Pokemon Go players that defect, you know what I mean, and jump ship to that new game. And I hope not. Like, oh man, it's like, I don't know.
They're not going to give up Pokemon completely. They're just going to manage their time.
No, Pokemon has so many legs to grow. We're only on Gen 4.
We have invested too much time.
We've taken too far. No, it is an interesting, and I do think that Pokemon Go has years worth of legs left to it. You know what I mean? So that's from a content creation standpoint, that's really good because, I think this game is really just getting started, and actually we'll talk about that when we get to the interview section, when the Polygon interview, because they actually bring that up as far as, where Pokemon Go is in its life cycle. But as a content creator and as a player, and mostly as a player here, what do you think is missing from Pokemon Go? They've pretty much followed up with everything that they promised in the original trailer. We've got raid battles, we've got trading, we've got PvP, we've got the community days.
Go snapshot.
All that kind of stuff. Where do you think the game could go next? What do you think is missing? Do you have anything that you really want to see implemented in the game?
I have actually a lot of ideas about Pokemon Go. Obviously, the biggest gaping hole is breeding. We still don't have breeding yet, which,
right,
especially now that we have PvP, is huge because we want to be able to breed perfect IV Pokemon with certain egg moves. Because in the main series games, you could breed a Pokemon that got a certain move that you could only get by breeding. So we don't have that ability yet in Pokemon Go. So that would really radically change PvP, I think.
That's
interesting.
That's actually a really
never
good
talked
point
about that.
Because in all the shit we've talked about, if I was John Hankey, this is what I would do conversations. we've never talked about breeding, like we really haven't, and that makes a lot of sense. And I've started to get into the VGC side of competition. I've been doing Pokemon Showdown battles, like I'm really getting into it, and IV training and natures of Pokemon and all that stuff. Like it's exceptionally complex and deep, and it all stems from breeding on the VGC side. So yeah, I mean, that's a huge hole. That's a great point, man. See, there's a lot more shit here I don't even think about. That's pretty awesome. That's really cool.
It's true. I think it would be really cool if we had something kind of similar to Pokemon Ami, where you could sit down with any of your Pokemon and you could feed them berries or groom them or something like that. And maybe that would improve their IVs or something like that. It's something that could benefit your Pokemon that you could just do while you're sitting at home. Like, I'm not out hanging out with the whole squad today, so maybe, and I don't have that much time, but maybe I can at least take care of my Pokemon. That would be
or if it gave them a power up, so you didn't have to spend Stardust on it, but you're spending time with it. Time and Stardust go hand in hand. That would be cool.
Yeah, I think that's definitely something that they can do, because I really enjoy that part of the main series games. And I remember when Melissa was playing through Sun and Moon, and I'd be like, "What are you doing?" She's just rubbing Snorlax's belly.
Yeah, just giving him some love, giving him some berries. So it makes me happy. Well, now maybe that the new photo mode is out, they'll be able to add something like that eventually.
Oh, that'd be so cool.
Because you can already interact with them now by touching them. Yeah,
but I'm with you, Holly, though. Things that you could do inside your house, like where, things to do when you're not out and about and you're not necessarily in the social situation, but you could still interact with the game. Because that, for me, that used to be evolution parties. If I'm sitting at home, what can I do? I can blow a lucky egg and just, evolve for a half an hour.
Yeah, or if you're interacting with one of your Pokemon, they can say, "Oh, they found a berry," or something like that.
Yeah, like
just something
you got
small.
A friendship meter, something like that. I mean, and again, maybe it can buff them, like in the main series. If a Pokemon your relationship is better, you're gonna have different things happen in the game. So that's future.
Good
yes,
call.
Yeah, that's good stuff. All right. You're definitely an inspiration to a ton of female trainers. I've seen it in your videos. I've seen it at Philly Free Streets. The amount of young girls that were chasing you down, and it was just awesome to see. How do you think being a female in this space kind of has shaped your channel or shaped what you do on YouTube? Has that made any difference?
I love to see all the female trainers. It makes me really happy. And it's still surprising to me that people come up to me like I'm an inspiration, but I just want to be the best Pokemon trainer that I can be, regardless of being a male or female. I just want to be the best Pokemon trainer. And so just the fact that other female trainers come up to me and say, "Hey, I want to be the best Pokemon trainer ever too," is really inspiring. I think that it's great because females are starting to get a grasp on YouTube and the Pokemon world. I think that we're starting to see a lot more female trainers in competitive leagues and, playing the video games and playing Pokemon Go, creating YouTube channels to show how they play Pokemon Go. I think that women are just starting to rise up and take on these challenges, and we can thank the guys for being great inspirations to us, but now it's time for the females to step up to the plate, I guess.
Kick our asses.
Definitely.
Yeah.
No, that's super cool. That's super awesome. All right, and I always like to at least ask one little bit of of a weird outside of the box question, and this is something that's been, going around the community for a while. I want to talk about multi-accounting and get your thoughts on this, because this has been a great conversation that our community has had. And one thing that's fantastic about our community and the podcast community at large is when it comes to approaching topics that could sometimes lead to toxicity, we never take it there. It's always been like great, civil, very respectful conversations about it. And I've been humbled in many of those situations because I was always the one who would like have the stick in my ass saying like, terms of service, and die on that mountain. But like I've come to learn and come to be humbled that the community at large definitely has a much more relaxed approach to certain things in the game where I was, a little bit more of a hard ass with. So multi-accounting is something we've been talking about a lot recently because even the YouTube world has started to loosen its grip with broadcasting that kind of thing on their channels. Like the conversation really started. Zoe put out a video and she had a disclaimer. She goes, "Look, I'm going to be in a van. We've got a bunch of people. Everyone's going to be holding multiple phones. No one's doing shady shit. It's all good. All right, we're moving on." And that started this conversation in our community. And it became like, yeah, as long as the intent of the person doing it isn't malicious and you're not doing it to scrape gyms and, screw people over or stuff like that, like, who the hell cares? So what is your take on that? Like the whole multi-accounting thing, does the intent of the person doing it matter, or is it just like, it is what it is?
I think multi-accounting is just a part of Pokemon Go now. It seems like it's, very pervasive in the community. It's kind of a snowball. Like once one trainer starts just doing it, a lot of their friends start doing it too. And especially like parents and kids, like sometimes a parent will take over for a kid while they're at school. And then before you know it, that kid's account is just another account for that parent.
That's Adam for sure.
So, but it's, like we're laughing about it because it's really, a lot of people are doing this. And I think it's just kind of like we've had to come to terms with it. Like this is the state of the community now, especially during Latias raid weekend, which is happening right now. I just went out here in Las Vegas and I can't even tell you the last time that I haven't seen somebody multi-accounting. I mean, being out there raiding Latias, I'm just seeing tons of people holding multiple phones, multiple devices. People have cafeteria trays that are laid out with phones now. So it's just kind of the normal thing. And I think that we kind of just have to accept it because if we want to continue to grow our communities and we want to be positive and we just want to make friends with everybody, then we can't be exclusive. So I'm just going to allow it. But of course, I'm not going to do it myself because those are my own standards, but I'm not going to force my standards on somebody else.
That's kind of the same thing that I had that kind of paradigm shift with myself, because I would always be the one that would be like, look at this fucking multi-account. And then like, I really softened up on it. And it's like, you know what? It is what it is. And I laugh. I call it the like either the Billy Joel or the Elton John, when like people are holding multiple phones down and it looks like they're playing the piano, you know what I mean? Because they're like tapping with, 6 phones. But yeah, it's raid support, really. That's really what it comes down to. I'm sure these people aren't catching Pidgeys on those devices.
Yeah, I wouldn't be using it if it wasn't for raids. Like, I would have no reason to.
Yeah, so, yeah, I mean, I get it.
I don't have a second account.
Well, you don't even play in your own first.
Yeah, you don't even play on yours. Why do you even podcast about Pokemon? Come on.
Oh, that's awesome. So, all right, great chat. I want to get into the news because I don't want to run too long. Clamperl Limited Research Day was yesterday here in the States, and coming from PokemonGoLive.com, normal community day hours up until now. They had 2 times catch Stardust, water type spawn more frequently. Pokestops were giving research for Clamperl encounters. Everyone was exceptionally hesitant and said, please don't let this be another Phoebus day. And holy shit, did Niantic pull a 180 and deliver a pretty freaking fantastic event. This was fun. This was a lot of fun. And I was at work and I was able to squeeze out for like 35, 40 minutes over the course of the 3 hours. And that's all I played. And I still had a fucking blast. They listened. They made the research tasks exceptionally easy to turn over. Catch a Krabby, evolve 2 water Pokemon, 3 great throws, like stuff that you could turn over very, very fast. And people where in the Phoebus window, they may have only had a chance to do 9, 12, 15 tasks. People were doing 50 tasks, 60 tasks. So it was really good. So,
no.
All right, well, I want to get everyone's take on it. So Again, Saturday events I can't play. I work every Saturday, so I have to like sneak off, and that's the only way I can ever do anything on a Saturday. Adam, how did your research day go? Did you have the full 3 hours to play?
I had to work at 3. I showed up late. I took the long way to hit as many stops as possible on the way, but I was able to store up a bunch of tasks. I didn't spend time looking at them, and then half the time my collections were full, so I had to delete one and then keep claiming the next, and so like I wouldn't see half of them when I claimed them, so I didn't realize how many I actually caught that were shiny. I thought I had 4, but apparently I had 5.
Wow. Damn.
And not a
Holly,
single 100%.
Adam has ridiculous
disgusting.
shiny luck. Like,
It
just
makes you not like him.
Non-stop. Like, he was just like, oh, I was just driving home from work and boop, fucking shiny this, shiny that. It's like non-stop.
Hey, you guys love it. Stop.
Yeah, I love it. I yell every time
more.
you post in the Discord. Yeah, everyone hates you in the Discord. They're like, this fucking guy again.
Well, I still don't have
shiny.
Magnemite, so that's a thing.
Yeah, that's a rare one. So, Holly, I'm sure you grind through the whole event, right?
Oh yeah, I got 50 field research completed, and I got 7 shiny Clamperl, so I'm happy.
Hell yeah! Did you evolve?
I haven't evolved yet because I'm saving it for a video, but I'm pretty happy. I think that I'll have pretty good odds with 7 shinies.
Did you see what happened in reversal?
No.
Yeah,
What
I
How many
evolved.
did he evolve? He evolved
one.
like 10
and got a Gorbis.
shiny Clamperls, and they all turned into Huntail.
No.
He didn't get
no.
one Gorbis.
Oh, that's
wow.
brutal.
He was just like, he goes, I think I'm the most unlucky trainer in the face of Pokemon right now. Yeah, but I think that the odds were it's a random evolution, 50 candy, and I believe that the odds were heavily pushed towards the Huntail side. It'll be with Sylph-Road or GoHub, I'm sure we'll put some data together of the rates, but it seemed like Huntail was evolving like 75% of the time at least. But it seemed like an overwhelming success. There was a hiccup. There was a bug in the event that I saw pretty early on Reddit, actually before the US launch, where the Magikarp and Wailmer research was glitched. There was a bug where if you tried to get your encounter, like cash in your encounter, it would kick you out of the game and you would not be able to reaccess the game. It was really bad bug. And Niantic support recognized it pretty early on. It looks like they addressed it. I was seeing Pokestops where I would try to spin it and it would say try again later.
Yeah,
and
it would give you the
let me.
error. Yeah.
So I believe that they disabled those Pokestops. That's my guess. So that was a great, like, on the fly, kind of recovery for them, if that's how they actually did it. But outside of that, this event pretty much went really freaking smooth, and the vibe and feedback from everyone was very, very positive. So
Yeah, I was
like,
catching
yes,
do more of
Blastoise,
this. Crawdont for alligators.
Oh yeah, there's hella freaking evolved forms in the wild. I caught a Gyarados, Vaporeon. You
got a Gyarados?
Cloyster. Yeah, hell yeah, dude! It was insane. It was absolutely insane. There was so much shit going on, and it was awesome seeing the evolved forms. That's exciting. You don't see that stuff.
A ton of Blastoises in the wild, yeah.
Yeah, Blastoise in the wild is legit. And Clamperl's now available in the wild. Let's see, if it's just as rare as some of the newer Gen 4 stuff. But let's see how it comes into the mix. But we'll see on that. I don't know anyone in my group or anything that's caught one in the wild yet or seen one in the wild.
I haven't seen one.
I'm going to need to find one because I didn't play.
Oh.
Yeah, I got wrapped up in like mom life, and I knew the event was coming, and like Ken even texted me and gave me a reminder, like, clear space in your tasks.
I was like, at least go out and spin the stops.
And I was just like, oh, all right. And I just didn't play. And then when he was just like, oh, look what I got, my face, my heart, I was just like, ah.
Yeah, I was able to do about 25 tasks and got one shiny. So I was happy. I was definitely happy because usually on Saturdays I don't get shit on those Saturday community days. I always get the shaft. I can never do it. Shaft. Shut your mouth. All right. Latias special raid weekend. It'll be wrapped up. Actually, no, it won't be wrapped up. They extended it. This was originally going to be the 22nd of February through the 25th. Now, they sprung this on people, and people were like, this kind of is going to lead into my next topic of the event fatigue, where I don't know, what was it, on Wednesday? They're like, hey, starting Friday, new event, Latias weekend, get out there, it could be shiny. And everyone was just like, I'm so tired. I'm so tired. I just want to go out with my family on Saturday. Like, what the hell? You guys are ruling my life. But that's the fear of missing out I want to talk about, but we'll get there in a second. But again, PokemonGoLive.com. Latias return to Tier 5 raid battles, can be shiny. Latios raid weekend will be coming. But again, good on Niantic. They heard the internet pouring salt all over the place about how they had no notice on this event and how it came so quick, and they ended up extending it from the 25th to the 1st. So good on Niantic for, again, listening to the community and making a move on it, because this kind of flexibility from the developer to make changes on the fly is exactly what we need in a game like this, where the community is as active as it is and as vocal as it is, because nothing's worse than having a vocal ass community and no one's listening.
No one doing anything.
Yeah, so now it's like there, a direct reaction in the game is happening. We saw the difference.
I for one
with
appreciate this.
Hell yeah, it's like it's huge.
Yeah.
Because I was out today and did like 9 or 10 raids and did not see a shiny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've done.
That's a lot of
I
people.
think 5 or 6, and I haven't seen any. And it's
Melissa's done
it's
like 0.
awesome. My Discord was blowing up with
I did one.
Melissa did one.
I did one.
She didn't even catch it though.
Exceeds
It
my
ran.
expectations.
It did run.
She
Fucker.
exceeded my expectations.
But no, I am happy that they extended this, because for someone like me that I work a shit ton, I can't really raid. I work long hours, so I get out of work after the raids are done. I only have 2 days a week that I can really do it, but I'm producing the content for the show here, so it's like it's hard to like squeeze this stuff in. So I for one am super psyched that they extended this out to the 1st. Now, that being said, event fatigue. It's real, man. People are starting to burn up. Now, we talked about this a couple weeks ago, and Melissa was like, "Fuck that, bring the events on." But
I felt the burn.
But as a casual player, though.
But I felt the fucking burn of it.
But now think about people
I'm
that
mad.
are dedicating
mad that
every Saturday, community day, special research, limited research, all this stuff going on.
Well, then they should. I mean.
But that's
not
the
to be
thing.
a jerk, but they should just, if they've been playing this long, they should just fucking pencil that shit in every fucking weekend. There's
all right. No,
Pokemon, bro.
I feel you. Okay,
I need a Monday through Friday job.
No, but for real though, it's like, Holly, as a content creator that covers this full time, it's got to be fucking great, because it's like a massive pool of content. You can constantly just churn out stuff because there's something new to talk about all the time. But as a trainer, do you ever feel like, oh my god, again we got to do some more work?
Oh yeah, I mean, it's overwhelming, the amount of events and new Pokemon and features and all this stuff that's coming to the game is kind of overwhelming. I mean, there's so much that's coming out this week. I mean, Go Snapshot just came out, then Latias raid weekend, Clamperl, all this, but yes, it is great for being a content creator, because at least I can turn it into something for everybody to watch.
Exactly. I mean, and for us, we're on a weekly format, so sometimes the game moves so fast that even a weekly turnaround isn't fast enough. By the time we cover something, it's like it's already been completely updated. We used to cover APK mines all the time on the show. They don't really even, like Silph Road and GoHub don't even really dig deep anymore, because by the time, that APK mine comes out and is kind of, distributed, there's a whole nother one, already out. So it's like, it's moved so incredibly fast, but it really comes down to the overload of events. And that's one thing. You can choose not to play the event like, I'm not going to take advantage of this bonus, the double Stardust, the double candy. But it's when they do something like Latias that's here for a limited time. It could be shiny. It's not just, hey, if I don't play today, I'll just get it later. If you don't do it while it's here, you're not going to be able to get it till it comes back again. So there's that fear of missing out on it while it's here, and it creates that anxiety. Now, as a developer, I would kind of want to instill that anxiety in my player base, because that's going to drive them to the game and drive them to have, this fervor of getting out there and playing. And I'm seeing that right now, because the raid channels in my Discord were fucking blowing up like crazy today, because everyone's out there trying to get the shiny.
Yeah, the fear of missing out. And I even I didn't even know that they extended it until like my 5th raid. Somebody was like, "Oh yeah, they're gonna be here all week." I was like, "Oh, cool." Just wasted my entire day. No, I didn't waste my entire day, but you know what I mean? It's just like,
It's just an interesting topic, and I want to hear what our community thinks. Email us, info@luredup.com. Let us know how you guys are feeling about the onslaught. And, when you say onslaught, it kind of has this negative connotation about it, but it really is like, it's relentless. It's nonstop. Now, I fucking love it, and I can't even play the events.
We begged for it, and they gave it to us.
Yeah.
So we can't fucking complain.
Yeah, we did.
I will say,
begged for it, and honestly, without it, it would be boring, because that shit, it got fucking boring.
Yeah, but we've talked about that too, though. Like, when there isn't an event, it's like, oh my god, there's nothing to do. It's like,
right.
But that's not true. Like, that's the thing. It's like that. The
well,
core
there is now.
But now my box is full. I have so many shinies. Like, I can't get rid of I don't want to get rid of any of my lucky Pokemon. I have one for everything in the decks. Can't get rid of my 100%. Like,
first world Pokemon problems
right?
for real. But let us know how you guys feel about the fear of missing out and event fatigue, because I don't see a slowdown to this in sight. Now, Adam and I on our other podcast, the Gotta Watch 'Em All podcast, we cover the TCG game. And the TCG is relentless as well. But you still have like a month or two between big things happening, you know what I mean? In Pokemon Go, it's like every 2 weeks there's a major turnover. And, I mean, don't get me wrong, I fucking love it. I wish I could, play more, but I do feel the anxiety and the burn of like, fuck, I'm not going to be able to get 3, shinies Clamperl to cover the whole line. Like, I know that I'm going to have to work harder for it in another way or wait for it to come back. But
well, for me as a casual, I look at it like every time I open the game, even if it's like a couple days later, I'm like, oh shit, look at all this new shit going on. Yeah, all right, cool. All right, that's what I'm fucking talking about.
Oh my god! And then they gave us the Treecko Community Day, and they're like, oh, it's 3 to 6. So it's like later in the day, so I actually can get out.
Let's talk about that. So they did announce Treecko Community Day, March 23rd, another Saturday. I can't play, fucking bullshit. But they're changing the format. Rather than have different times in different regions, it's going to be completely based on local time everywhere in the world, 3 to 6 p.m. So, here on the East Coast, our time was 2 to 5, so it's not a big difference, but communities that had like the 11 to 1 window, now it's completely shifting their community day format to later in the day. So there's a lot of people that are like, on either side of the fence of this, of wanting it or not. But I think from a marketing perspective and Niantic's perspective, this is going to just really help alleviate a lot of the confusion that they have and, all that, because the amount of times I would hear what time, it's like the same freaking time it always is. And people still are confused about what time it is. So, I don't know. I think it's okay.
I think it was primarily 2 reasons that they changed it to 3 to 6 local all over the world. I think number 1 was to, like you said, alleviate the stress so that way people didn't have to recalculate time zones and all that. But also they're preparing for summer, because in the summer in a lot of places, especially here in Las Vegas and a couple places in Japan, all over the world, it gets so hot from like 11 to 2 when usually Community Day was. So now it's going to be later in the day, and people aren't going to be dying while they're out there playing Community Day.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even think about that. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yep. Yeah. That's a good point.
And number 2 is just because, most people who work on the weekends, hopefully they'll go into work during the morning and then they'll be out by 3. A lot of people were complaining that because they have to work on the weekends, that hopefully now they can play Community Day.
Yeah, even if they get out at 5, they still got a solid hour.
An hour, yeah.
There you go.
Not me, though. Work till 6, motherfuckers. I'll always
just
be
don't take your break
hell.
and then leave it.
I'll always be grumpy as hell. No, I'll always find. I'll be like, "Who wants coffee?" I'll be like, I'm running out. I gotta run to the bank. Yeah, run to the bank meeting.
The long way.
I gotta go the long way.
Traffic.
It's fucking 2 stories down.
Traffic.
Oh, that's funny. All right, there was a really great interview. Polygon.com. Matt Slemon, product manager for Niantic, kind of sat with Polygon and discussed the past, present, and future of Niantic and Pokemon Go at large. And we got some really good information here. And I want to there's a couple of key takeaways that I kind of want to talk about. So they were talking about how the success of community-based gaming and the importance of what Community Day had done for the dynamic of social gaming with Pokemon Go, and how Community Days really were the benchmark of the style of gaming that Pokemon Go and Niantic had envisioned of getting people together and out there and playing, and how important that was to the structure and formatting of the game. So I couldn't agree more. Community Day has definitely made this game so freaking awesome, because you go to the downtown by us and it's like it's popping off, on Community Days. It's really, really cool.
Lures everywhere, people outside.
Yeah, it's great. It's like
the way it's supposed to be.
That feeling of July 2016, where everywhere you looked and there's people on their phone. It's like you get that vibe again. It's really cool. Then they go ahead and talk about the present day and how Go Snapshot just came out, and how they're using things like special research to kind of push a narrative, and how the important thing here is they're saying that they've pretty much delivered on the bulk of the promises from that original trailer. PvP is here, trading is here, all of that stuff that they originally promised on. So what that means going into the future of Pokemon Go and Niantic's development process and their thought process is how, since a lot of the core elements have already been, brought over to Pokemon Go, things can now go into a less traditional format where they don't have to worry about something like PvP or trading coming over anymore. They can get more creative and really start to utilize things like augmented reality and to bring new things to the world of Pokemon that you wouldn't get from one of the other platforms. They don't have to worry about, in the main series games, there's trading, so we got to bring trading to Pokemon Go. Pokemon Go is really going to start to get, I think, from here forward, you're really going to see a development of true personality from Pokemon Go. I think Go Snapshot is where it starts. And where this can go in the future with the real world platform, I'm freaking excited about, because I love this nerdy shit. I love AR. I cannot wait to, have the whole thing with wearables. Like I'm in. I'm bought in to AR completely.
Wearables,
that
man,
eye
no.
implant.
Yo, that's what I said. Give me a fucking cybernetic eye.
no.
Like, sign me up.
No.
I want to see.
I just want to see
I want to
Pokemon at all
walk
times.
into the kitchen and Snorlax is chilling on the couch and just be like, "Yo, what up, dog?" I want that. I need that in my life. But it was very exciting to see Niantic starting to have a little bit more of a diverse press presence, and kind of, everything that Niantic says, we're going to dissect with knife and fork. We're going to, look into every line. We're going to put on tinfoil hats and make these crazy speculations. So just to play along, I'm going to make my speculation here.
Oh boy,
So,
here we go.
no. So this is something that I think, I asked Holly earlier what she thinks, what could be missing from the game breeding. That was a great point. This is something that I'm a PvP guy. I'm really into PvP, hosting a shit ton of tournaments, doing all that. All right, so Matt Slemon has an awesome quote here, and I think this kind of sums up what makes me excited about this article. It says, quote, "In a lot of ways, we think we've hit the point where our original launch trailer promise has been delivered. It's not entirely delivered. We're expecting to have iterations, as we mentioned, with the PvP launch to the battle system feature to allow people to have ways to compete more effectively or find opponents easier."
Ooh.
End quote.
Ooh.
Hashtag PvP matchmaking confirmed. All right,
Yes.
That's my tinfoil hat. Hat. Yo, if we get
Yeah.
matchmaking, if we get PvP matchmaking, now I know it's gated by the friendship system, and I know that it would break that whole fucking system if we were to go to a matchmaking thing. But if they were to put matchmaking in this game, holy shit.
Maybe not matchmaking, but maybe they're gonna actually put the little icon where when your friends are live.
Are online.
Yeah, so you can battle easier.
I want matchmaking. I want to wear a tinfoil hat. Damn it! Let me wear
That
my
would
let
be
me wear my
rad.
tinfoil hat.
I
No,
mean,
see,
matchmaking would be rad, but
so look, there's plenty
You're
of
reaching.
other games. No, there's plenty of games that have friends lists, that have matchmaking built in, and that works very well.
In-game communication.
Yeah, man. I think that the lack of that in the game does PvP at large a major disservice, because a lot of people think that PvP is not accessible. One, because you need ultra friends if you're not next to the person, and it's daunting if you don't really know what the hell you're doing. It could be pretty daunting. So having PvP where someone can casually just jump in and do it, I think that would be a freaking game changer. So that's my tinfoil hat takeaway from this article, but I'll link to it in the description. It's worth the read. I felt very inspired and I was gassed up after reading it. So pretty excited there. All right, Adam, this next one's for you. So, Holly, Adam is the Instinct player of the group. Melissa is Mystic. I'm Valor. But
All right.
Adam, we always bust his chops, as we do with all the Instinct players.
Because I'm like the lone wolf anywhere I go.
Trowels had dug this up last week, and now it was made official by PokemonGoLive.com that the Team Change Medallion is coming to the game on the 26th. You're going to be able to buy it for 1,000 Pokecoins, $10.
I don't have that
Right?
much.
It's going to have a 1-year cooldown, so you can only use this item once per year.
So you can join my
And
team.
What are we going to think of all the traders that buy this? Like, it's awesome. I've heard so many conversations of people that are like, cannot wait for this to come out so they could jump ship. And then I've also seen an increased level of spirit of people being more dedicated to the team that they're currently on, saying, fuck that, yo, Valor
Yeah.
for life.
Yeah. Mystic
Right.
for life. My kid
Instinct
wants
for
to
life.
change to Adam. My kid
Yep.
wants to change to Instinct.
He wants to go
I wanted
insane.
Seriously, Josh,
I want to zone him.
come to the great
Today
side.
at ShopRite, I was
We're
looking at
always
him giving him
welcoming
the
of
evil eye.
new recruits. That's all.
No.
We
We've
have more
got
fun.
memes. But no, look, I think this is really cool. I think that it's a long time coming, and a lot of people have been talking about this for so long. I think they might have another trick up their sleeve prior to releasing this. I think they might put a spin on it, but I think that this is cool, and I think this is a great revenue stream for Niantic, because I have a feeling that a lot of people are going to be doing this, and I think it's going to change and sway the dynamic in a lot of communities where if you're, dominated by Mystic, and people might defect to make it more competitive, or people might join the larger team to make it easier. So it could go either way. But like when you look at Ingress, the two teams there, it's a major imbalance, major imbalance. And with Instinct being, the lightest team here, I don't know how it's going to go, man. I don't know if Instinct's
Instinct.
going to make it.
Nothing's gonna
No.
make me change.
I think
My favorite
Instinct
color
is
is
gonna
yellow.
get hurt.
I heard that it's
So-
going to
so-
primarily affect, like, it could be for rural players mostly, because a lot of them are having trouble, taking down raids and stuff. So now they can be the same team. Maybe if they weren't like best friends or something before, so they can get that team bonus.
Right. Yep. That's what I mean. It's like you do it for efficiency. You get the extra balls. I don't know, but I think this is fun, and it's brought up a lot of cool conversations in the community. So when this actually comes out, it's going to be fun to bust people's chops when they jump ship. You know what I mean? It's like, all of a sudden they're waving a different color. I think that'd be really funny.
And quick question: we have not nobody's seen Smeargle, right? Because I
Nope.
took
No.
136 pictures of a Delibird, and I did not see a Smeargle.
No,
I even was in AR world, and I was spinning around. I'm like, "Where are you? I know you're hiding."
I love you so much.
It's like, Adam, you're in the bathroom, Adam. Come out. No, we'll actually get to that a little bit. Trowels dug up some cool stuff. We'll talk about that in a minute. But I want to jump into some emails here. We got an email from Atari Alex. Alex hasn't written to us in a while.
Oh, man, I
he
love
wrote
his
us. He
emails.
wrote us a nice long novel
Oh,
here,
boy.
and I'll
Okay,
run through it
let's
really
do it.
quick. But it's really good. Okay, it says, "Sorry of not having written in for so long. Turns out that having a newborn keeps you very busy, and certain leisure activities fall by the wayside. Not
I know
Pogo,
how
though.
that
Never
is.
Pogo.
Alex,
Yeah,
I know how that
fuck
is.
sleep. Just fucking go play Pogo at 3 a.m. It'll be fine. It's fine. Anywho, I wanted to weigh in on multi-accounting and the debate you've been having on your show recently. It says, I don't actually mind this practice. I think if someone wants to have 17 phones hooked up to a bike and ride around town and play the game, more power to them. If they're putting in the effort and keeping up the grind, I don't think they should be punished for it. If they want to take down a gym and put 6 of their own Pokemon in there, I think that's pretty lame, but if that's how they choose to play the game and sleep at night, despite being scummy, who am I to stop them? But there's a special place in hell for people who spoof the gyms and fill them up with 6 different accounts. I'll be the first person in line to drop kick them there. I also wanted to give my thoughts on the Team Medallion really quickly. It had been rumored to be coming to the game forever, and I thought for sure by this point players would have too much team pride to switch, but I saw a surprising number of people in my local Facebook group saying they couldn't wait to change. A majority of them were Team Valor folks, saying they wanted to change because my city is heavily dominated by Mystic and Instinct.
Yes.
And they're tired of being kicked out of gyms and not getting the max number of balls and raids. Well, I say to those people, they are weak and they have no place on the superior Team Valor for life. That's exactly what I'm saying, Alex. Hold
Valor.
strong. Fucking Valor for life. And he wrote, sorry for the long email. I'll try not to make it as long in the next one. Thanks so much for writing in, Alex.
Yeah,
We love
thanks,
when you guys
Alex.
write in.
Two great things. I'm with you, man. I think that, like we said, if the intent of the person multi-accounting is good, who the fuck cares? And the Team Medallion thing will make for a lot of good jokes and memes when we can make fun of our friends that jump ship. Next email from Christopher says, hello, Lured Up. I've been a listener for a while. I'm also a longtime OpenStreetMapper and Ingress player. I hear you mention the moose statue over and over again, and I'm wondering if you'd like me to try to submit it as a portal for you.
Oh my God.
It seems to have a good idea of what qualifies for a good portal, and I know you can't vote on it if I submit it, but I'm willing to take the first step for you. Honor the TOS, down with multi-accounters. Team Mystic for life.
Yes!
So Christopher, actually someone, an Ingress player in Adam's community. So Holly, just to catch you up, Adam has a moose statue at the end of his street that we want to get turned into a Pokestop. So we
it's a
got
giant
Adam to
wooden
start
cutout.
playing Ingress so he can submit it. And
Okay.
someone through the in-game communication reached out to Adam and submitted the moose for him. And now
Wow.
we've got Christopher writing it. So Christopher, someone actually submitted it.
Christopher,
So I'll
I
see if
will appreciate that. And honestly, I think if you submitted it as well, that would help. Because
That would help,
apparently
right? Yeah.
the Ingress players in the area don't like Pokemon Go players. So
Oh,
they
there's a
all
vibe.
just
Oh,
keep
there's a heat.
downvoting it or whatever they do to make it not a portal.
Oh, that's funny. That is so funny. I didn't even
Adam,
realize
they got
that.
salt against you.
Yeah, no,
You know,
he's actually submitted it twice now.
That's so funny. All right, yeah. So Christopher, we'll be in touch. I'll have Adam email you so he can get you the info on the moose because we're on a fucking mission. We got to get this thing
Get the
turned over.
moose.
All right, a couple bits of miscellaneous news before we get into our Tempest Cup Battle Party and wrap up the show. Community question I asked this week on Discord and Twitter. Do you use the fast catch method? I found myself
hell is
using the fast catch method exclusively. And I'm like, when did I start doing this? I'm using it now and I can't stop. So I asked the community if they were using it, and an overwhelming amount of people in our community are using the fast catch method. Holly, have you ever used it?
Yes, the fast catch method is great. It's super easy. You have to do it on community days. It's the only way.
Yeah, we were talking last week when we were talking about Swine Up Community Day that someone in our Discord had caught 580 swine up or something insane, and Melissa's like, "How the fuck do you do that?" It's all the fast catch method because it just I think it cuts down 3/4 of the time of the catch sequence or something like that. But I found myself doing it exclusively. So if you're using it, let us know. I want to hear from you. How did you start using it? I don't know. I did it. I started using it one day, and then now all of a sudden, that's all I do.
All right, get me a
And it's
tutorial.
Prodigy's Nation has a great one. Even if I have just one Pokemon I'm catching, and I don't need to rush, I still do it. I don't know. It's weird.
Well, just tell me really quick. How do you do it?
Yeah, how
Can
do
you
you do
explain it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you put your finger on the berry select button, right?
Okay.
But you do a hard press. So you just kind of put your finger on it with a hard press and slide it over just a little bit to activate that button. Now, while you're doing that, you prepare with your other finger, spinning the ball and throwing the ball. When the ball makes contact with the Pokemon, you release the berry button. It brings up the berry menu. It causes a weird fucking bleep bloop in the game, and you can run away from the encounter.
Hey, I caught it.
And you caught it. If you caught it, it completely skips the 3 shakes and the catch sequence. You caught it. Going to the screen of looking at the Pokemon, having to close that out. It just skips all that shit.
Yeah,
I'll show you later. So if you do that, I'll find the Prodigy's Nations video that talks about it, and I'll link to it in the description. So it's awesome. It's awesome. But
you explaining
it was weird
I
for
just,
me.
I
I
just
can't
did it.
even do the circle lock trick.
You don't understand. I
doesn't
yell
really
at
work
Melissa
anymore, right?
every fucking raid we do. I yell at her. She's like, "Freaking Latias is moving every time I throw. It's moving." I'm like, "Use the circle lock. Use the
Use
circle
a
lock."
Nana berry. It stops moving.
Yeah. No, gotta use the golden razz.
Golden
All right, Ghost Snapshot is out. It's freaking awesome. I mean,
It's
it's
the best.
amazing to see how many people are now interested in photography and producing content and making art. I fucking
Listen,
love
Pop
it.
Punk Pokemon
Yeah.
already is starting his Pallet Town Passport. Oh my god, I'm so excited for it.
Dude, did you see the red Gyarados? Did you see the shiny
Yes.
Gyarados picture you
Yep.
put out? Fucking insane. It's really, really cool. I love to see what people are doing. It's just art. It's just everyone's, more creativity out there online. It's
Holly,
fantastic.
what are your thoughts on this? Are you going to
I love it.
take advantage of this?
I mean, photography plus Pokemon, it's like endless creativity right there.
Because this is why,
absolutely.
honestly, why I started watching you. I was like, she takes tons of pictures, and that was why I was drawn to your channel.
It's everything but better now. I mean, now if you find a shiny Pokemon, instead of trying to risk that AR plus photo, now I can capture it, and then I can take the picture. So
Yeah, no
it's great.
stress.
Yeah, that's exciting.
GoHub put out a new regional guide, just kind of updated. I'll link to it in the description. We don't really need to talk about it, but if you're wondering about the current lineup of regionals, there's a really nice map that GoHub put together. By the time we record the next episode, we're going to be seeing a lot of new changes. We're going to have our research breakthrough rotation happening on March 1st. We're going to have a new Tier 5 raid boss. Any guesses of what we're going to see here when Palkia goes away?
Rayquaza.
I hope
Maybe
so.
Dialga.
I hope so.
Or Dialga.
Black Rayquaza.
Oh man, fucking shiny Rayquaza is the best. So awesome. I don't know, but we'll have to see that. Now that the Valentine's Day event is over, they shifted back to the pre-Valentine's Day event pool. I kind of miss Krabby in Tier 1. I really want that shiny really, really bad. But I'll link to the current raid boss list in the description. Like Adam said earlier, Treecko Community Day is happening. I'm guessing that the secret move is going to be Frenzy Plant. I'd imagine that that's what they're going to do. Trials went absolutely buck wild mining shit recently. This was prior to Go Snapshot coming out. He found the assets for the photobomb badge, which is called Cameraman. And this really cool little, image of Smeargle kind of jumping out. So I'm assuming that this is going to be coming soon, where this is going to, go live. But he's got the assets for it. Fantastic. It's great. He also dug up some Meltan avatar items. I'll again link to it in the description so you can see them. A Meltan hat, earrings, and sweater, all for female avatars. There was badges added to the game for this Japan special weekend with Charmander that was going on now. Pokemon Day is the 27th of February. So there's special event research that he was kind of digging up with catch a certain number of Pidgey or Rattata. Pidgegrabba, I know you're excited to get to catch Pidgeys. Hopefully they'll be spawning at greater numbers for you. A lot of stuff going on, a lot of stuff behind the scenes. It's fantastic. I'm really, really excited. Last segment of the show.
You ready?
Tempest Cup. Today, I held a Twilight Cup. It was fantastic. People are so excited about the Tempest Cup. It is going to be electric, ice, flying, and ground Pokemon. Ground Pokemon being the second time they're using that. They did that to give people a little Stardust relief, because building out parties is very Stardust expensive. And, you make a last minute decision and you have to drop 100, 200K in Stardust to get it to where it needs to be. It hurts. So they put the ground back in so you can kind of recycle some of the Pokemon from the Boulder Cup. We started this a couple episodes ago featuring a YouTuber that covers the topic really well. I want to cover Matty F. Baby. He's put out a series of videos that goes into exceptional detail talking about PvP strategies. He follows the Silpharina Cup guidelines and builds out parties and really, really goes into depth, and he's super passionate. So I want to give him a shout out. I'm going to link to his channel in the description. Make sure you give him a sub. He's got a whole series on building out party for the Tempest Cup. But looking over at PokeBattler.com, the top counters or the top choices for the Tempest Cup will be, this is using the strategy of randomly selected shields. There's a couple different ways you can build it out in PokeBattler, but random shields: Lapras, Quagsire, Celio, Glalie, Dugong, Steelix. It's a motley-ass crew of mixture of ground and ice Pokemon. I love that Lapras is in here. I think Lapras is, it's just a fun Pokemon to use, and I think that Pokemon like Glalie and Dugong never really get a chance, so this is fantastic that they're here. Some other great choices are going to be Piloswine, Lantern, I'm sure you're going to see a lot, Marshtomp, Skarmory can make a comeback here, and Whiscash, there's going to be plenty. So, this is what I would bring if I'm going to be doing this. Now, with me, it's interesting because since I'm running all these tournaments, I'm not competing in them, but I get to see everyone's thought process, and as they pre-register, I see their teams in my Sylph, dashboard, so I can see what Pokemon they pick and then what they change to over time. So whenever I build out these early parties, I know it's going to get developed over time, and the Pokemon will change as the meta gets a little bit more developed. But I've chosen Lapras, Celio, Quagsire, just because he's derpy, Rhyperior, Lantern, and Altaria, because I have a 1500 CP even Altaria. So I'm bringing a blend of ice Pokemon and flying Pokemon, a little bit of ground thrown in there, and with one electric Pokemon. So kind of diverse lineup here. I know this is going to be developed, but I'm really excited about being able to use Lapras and Quagsire, just because I think bringing Quagsire out will make everyone smile, because it's so dumb looking. But Melissa, what do you got?
I'm going to bring a Steelix, and I have a really nasty Flygon. And luckily, I haven't powered up too many of my legendaries, so I'm bringing an Articuno and a Raikou, and I have my perfect Lapras, which is key to bring, and a Nidoking.
Her perfect Lapras is under 1500 CP. She's never powered it up. It's fucking legit right now. Mm-hmm. That's a good choice here. Adam, did you put a party together?
Oh yeah, it's just not written down. It's just in my phone. I'm sorry. I have a 1500 CP Zapdos. I have a 100% Sandslash at 1492 and a Lapras at 1495. Okay, and the other three, I guess, have to be Manectric, Steelix, and Jinx.
Jinx getting a little action. All right, Nicki Minaj. Awesome. And Holly, I know you said you're in the process of building out your party, so I won't put you on the spot for that. But we did it, guys.
Yay.
That's a show.
We did it.
Yeah.
We did
Wait,
it.
do we get the battle party?
Oh shit, we didn't do battle party. I'm so fucking gassed
Well,
up.
I wasn't sure if you were going to do it because it was a Tempest Cup battle party,
It's
not
still
just
a battle
normal
party.
battle
So
party.
Holly, we do this thing on our show every week.
It's so cheesy.
It's so dumb. Where we have a
fans
little
love
jingle that we build whenever we build out our battle parties, and I'll give you an example. It goes like this: battle party, ooh ooh, battle party, ooh ooh. I got it. I gotta get it out of you. I got it.
I'm down.
Yes. Hell yeah.
Okay,
Let
awesome.
me have it.
Battle party. Ooh, ooh. Battle party. Ooh, ooh.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
Thank you for
awesome.
doing that.
That's so great. Oh, I'm so excited. Thank
That's
you so
fun.
much. All right, but everyone, that's going to wrap up the show. Holly, thank you so much for coming on.
thanks
We
for
really
sticking around,
appreciate
too.
it.
Yes, it's been a blast.
Where can our community
Guys,
find
thank you
you?
for having me.
Let us have it. Plug away.
So please check me out on YouTube. It's Pokemon Master Holly, PKMN Master Holly. Also on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Check me out.
Awesome. And I'll link to everywhere that she is in the description. If you haven't already, make sure you connect with her on all the platforms. It's fantastic content. You can find everything that we're doing at luredup.com. Shoot us an email just like we had some today, info@luredup.com. And leave us a review in iTunes and Stitcher.
What about the phone numbers?
Yeah, we didn't have any
fantastic.
voicemails.
We didn't have any voicemails this week, but we do have a voicemail line, 732-835-8639. Please drink heavily and then call 732-835-8639.
We'll be
and
waiting.
let us have it. You can also send pictures. The more inappropriate, the better. Thanks so much.
Yeah, can't get them.
It all comes to my phone. Don't worry. Info@luredup.com. Thank you guys so much. That's pretty much going to wrap it up. You guys got anything else?
No.
I'm good.
All right, fucking awesome. Thank you guys so
Thank
much.
you.
We'll see everybody
Thank you.
next week. Bye-bye.